Hello Oracles! Oracle Tim here from Oracle Investments. 2 great green days in a row to start the week, recovering strong from last week. Is this the rally that we are going to end the year with, or do we have more red days to come? Let's take a look and see who is breaking trends and who is continuing trends. Now, with the strong red week that we had last week, I took advantage of some opportunities with the dips. Let me know in the comments below if you took advantage of any of the dip last week. And if so, which stocks did you pick up while we were dipping? I know I picked up a little bit of Sofi, I picked up AFRM, I picked up definitely more Tesla for sure. I do that every single day anyway. And let me see who else I picked up. I picked up Apple and Amazon and Nvidia last week. So, just grabbing a bunch of these little high conviction stocks that I have. I started my position in Nvidia last week. We'll take a look at those at the end of the week to see how they're doing after 1 week. But there's a few today that were starting to break trends, and I wanted to go over those today because they were coming down pretty hard and they're not breaking out. Now, one of the hard things to deal with when we get red weeks like we had last week is the fear and uncertainty and doubt. Our emotions start to get involved. We start looking at stocks that, maybe we bought during that rally because we were excited, and now they're going red. So you perhaps bought at the peak. Oh no, what's happening? Do I sell for the loss? How much further is it going to fall? Take your emotions out, take a step back. Ask yourself some questions. I will always ask myself a few questions like, what are analyst price targets for a year from now? I'm not a huge fan of going by price targets most of the time, but if I see price targets trending up by everyone, including bears, that's a bullish sign. That tells me, the stock is going to most likely be going up. And take a look at what those targets are. If the average price target is higher than what you bought at, you're fine. Don't even worry about it. And then next, ask yourself, what does the company have planned for the next year? What catalysts are there? For instance, Tesla, the amount of catalysts that they have next year. Cybertruck coming out, most likely announcing the $25,000 vehicle. They have 2 factories ramping next year. Potentially a split coming that everybody's rumoring. So many positive catalysts, great reasons to buy. So if you're buying any other stocks, take a look at them as well. What news do they have potentially coming for the next year? And then finally remind yourself, is this a stock that you're going to be investing in long term? If you're looking at the stock for 3 to 5 years, who cares what the price is now? Even at a low growth, you're going to be a lot higher in 3 to 5 years than the price you bought it right now. So ignore the short-term red. Not a big deal. And I promise you that when you start asking yourself these questions and you take your emotions out of it, when we get red days like we did last week, instead of freaking out and panicking, you're going to get excited because you're like, oh man, look at all the potential that this company has. I'm going to put more money into it. And then the next phase is, oh man, I spent all my money before. I don't have anything available. Okay, don't need to kick yourself. The company's still going to do fine. You're still going to be green. So then strategize, plan ahead and say, all right, I don't want to miss the next time that the stock is going to go red like this. How do I make sure I have cash on hand? Then it just comes down to discipline. And we can discuss that later, getting cash on hand, different strategies. But just to remind yourself, when things go red like they just did, ask yourself these questions. You'll feel better about yourself, you'll take your emotions out, and you're going to be A-okay. And now I'm going to share what I bought last week. So Sofi is the first one, and Sofi still technically in its downtrend, but it was in a steep downtrend, and now it's kind of leveled off and it's starting to come back up. So coming around, if it breaks over 17, that means that we have broken out of the downtrend, and I think we're going to start to see it rise back up. I like Sofi long term. I think it's a great stock. I think last week around 15 was a great buy for it. So I'm looking for this stock to gain its momentum back, pushing back up towards $20. Airbnb is a great one that just broke its downtrend. The Omicron scare really pushed it down. It had great earnings, ran up from like 145 all the way up to 212, then started coming down. Got the Omicron scare, we got all this fear that was throwing the stock into a downward spiral, but it hit that 160 mark. The Omicron fears kind of went away. People are realizing that it's not as bad as they thought it was. So these recovery plays are starting to come back out, and Airbnb has broken that trend. So it's now back above its downtrend, and we've started an uptrend, and I'm going to pay attention to it to see if it can continue this, or if we're going to just see this bounce and come back down again. So I'll keep you guys posted on that one. Huge moves with Apple today. Apple hitting an all-time high of 171, and that pushes it to a $2.8 trillion market cap, getting ready to become the first $3 trillion company. Now, a lot of people out there who are Tesla bears, we shall call them, they are out here saying there's no way Tesla's going to be valued that high. Nobody's ever been valued that high. When the stock splits that much and there's that many shares outstanding, the stock doesn't move that much. Apple is proving that that is just not true. I mean, Apple has been soaring over the last few weeks. You know, for a company that is the size that it is, for it to gain that much ground that quickly just proves that Tesla can do just the same. And on top of that, Apple is still getting price targets that are around $200. I mean, that's still an incredible increase from where they are now. Think about Tesla. You know, Apple is a late S-curve growth company. They've kind of peaked. They don't have a lot of growth ahead of them, but they're still growing at this rapid rate. Tesla is at the bottom of their S-curve. They have a huge growth in front of them. So when we start seeing Tesla split again, and people are like, oh, it's not going to move that much, I beg to differ. Apple is proving that it can do it. Tesla will definitely be able to do it. And speaking of Tesla today up huge, about 4.5% to just over 1050. I don't think Elon has sold yet this week. Still no Form 4 filings. I have no doubt he will sell this week. What day that is, I don't know. Elon debunked the 12/9 theories on his Wall Street Journal interview last night. If you did not see it, I've got a video recapping some of that. I'll put it in the description below. There's so many things fundamentally strong about Tesla that for them to hit 3 trillion is not going to be a problem. And there's a video I made about a month ago where I said Tesla is going to be the first $4 trillion company. And I actually in that video stated that Apple was going to be the first $3 trillion company. Well, here we are coming to Apple being the first $3 trillion company. And I think Tesla next year has got that ramp coming. Tesla's going to start cruising up. Tesla's going to hit about 2 to 2.5 trillion next year. And I think in 2023, they got their chance of surpassing Apple. That's my predictions, is that Tesla will eclipse Apple as the highest market cap in the world. And then from there, they're on up to 4 trillion. And with today's price changes for Tesla, it's still in this bull pennant. We're still riding this bull pennant. We're looking at some consolidation. It looks like it has a bit of time to play out before we hit the apex. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, there's still a chance that it could fall down below this. It can break down from this pennant. It does not have to break out. And chances are with Elon's sales still coming, that might happen. But keep in mind that the only selling pressure we currently have in Tesla is Elon, and anybody who is short selling because of Elon. And then the only other people who are selling are like ARK funds or any other funds out there that just have to balance their portfolio because it's smart portfolio management. Everybody else is buying Tesla right now. That's it. So every time Elon sells, everything gets scooped up. This is such a great bullish sign for going forward for Tesla. And now I know some of you bought in around the $1,100 to $1,200 mark. Again, don't fear, even if it does fall back down, see if you have any extra money lying around that you can put into to dollar cost average down. And if you don't, do not worry. We are coming back up. We are going to get past $1,100 and $1,200 very soon, in my opinion. So you're going to be looking back at this a year from now, just kicking yourself saying, why was I even upset about buying it at $1,100? It's not going to matter. You're going to be happy that you bought it at that price. Don't worry about the short term if you are investing long term. Let me know your thoughts. Do you want Tesla stock to fall more so that you can buy more, or do you just want it to run now? Let me know your thoughts. Personally, I'm good either way. I honestly would like it to fall again. I would love to see it down around the $900 mark. I will dump more money into it, a lot heavier than I already have, and then ride it back up from there. I think it's totally possible, but at the same time, it could also run. I mean, look at how many buyers we have. So let me know what you think. What do you want Tesla stock to do in the short term? Because I think by the time we hit Q4, we're going to be back over $1,200. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Like this video, sign yourself up for notifications, and I will see you guys all in the morning. Keep you up to date on any Form 4 filings and any other Tesla news. Thank you so much. I will see you later. Have a great one.